Welcome, and the topic today is new seeds for 2023. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. Hey folks, I'm Greg.
I'm Sheila.
And if you never joined us before, we are a gardening show based here in South Georgia, and we come on every Thursday night. We call it the Row by Row Gardening Show. And we own a company called hosstools, and we're located in Zone 8, and we're taught all things growing your own food. So if you hadn't joined us before,
Welcome.
if you have, hang in there. It's going to be a good show. At the end of the show, we have the winner of the wheel hoe. Yep. Not till the end of the show.
Okay.
End of the show. Yep. All right, so let's talk about what has happened the last few days. This is the first show for 2023.
Wow.
We just got through a terrible Arctic blast. Some stuff survived, some stuff didn't, and I think that's pretty much the cue for everybody out there. We've seen some pictures of a lot of people that had some pretty heavy duty damage. We had some, probably not as much as I anticipated.
My onions, my garlic, strawberries, fine.
Yeah. But we covered those all as well.
Yeah, but the other stuff I covered, my English peas, they didn't.
The weird thing is I had the lazy garden, our new lazy garden thing, which is the woven fabric that we plant through. I put row cover on top of it. English peas did fine.
I know. I think it's that ground was insulated.
Insulated it. So it has more of an effect than just weeds. It helps insulate from the ground from cold. I'm convinced of that because everything in there survived except for my zinnias. We knew my zinnias wasn't going to survive. So
I did have some cauliflower survive.
Yep.
And collards.
Those collards are good after that cold. Oh,
They
they're
were
good.
good.
Man.
They
Yep.
were good.
So we've got through that. It's time to starting back some seeds now. I'm gonna get in the greenhouse probably this afternoon.
Can we start back some of those brassicas and?
Yes, time. This week I'm starting back on those.
So we'll have another crop before we need some. Yeah.
Yep, it's time to do that. And you know, next thing when I told somebody this morning, next thing you know, we'll be planting tomatoes. Next month we'll be planting tomatoes in the greenhouse. So,
In January.
February. Next month.
Next month.
February.
And potatoes.
Yeah, and potatoes, yeah. So we got a lot coming on. It's starting of the new year, and it's all things gardening. We're all hyped up again. Looking forward to the spring, as always, again. You can tell by our orders over the weekend, they have jumped up dramatically. So everybody's getting back into the gardening mode for next year. So this is your Christmas present for this last year, your Christmas present. If you don't know, she got her harvest right, and she has been freeze-dried. She's been freeze-drying everything. I don't know if a night the freeze dryer has not run.
Well, it didn't run for 3 nights because I had a little hiccup. So I ran my first 2 batches fine, and then I kept getting a vacuum seal error, the dreaded, as other people have said it. So then you have to take the machine apart and tape up, or you can send it back and wait months and months. But anyway. So I got it going again. I did some apples.
They were good. Different, but good.
But now you could reconstitute these and they'd be like regular apples.
Right.
Strawberries, which I think is my favorite.
Right. Very good. And bananas.
Yeah, bananas is my least favorite. Which I hadn't tried to reconstitute them yet.
I think blueberries would be good.
I don't... See, most of the fruit you have to cut in half so it can take the moisture out. How are you going to cut blueberries in half? I do have some sassumas in there right now, and that might be, they look like they might be exploding.
So if you're not familiar with a harvest right, it is a freeze dryer, and it can freeze dry foods up to 25 years. So I told her earlier, what would be better than eating 25-year-old spaghetti?
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to do meat, although I've seen some people do meat. Yeah.
You can do meat, yeah.
But, you know, I wouldn't, it's fairly complicated piece of equipment.
I will say, take it apart.
I will say this after we're dealing with a little bit. You know, it creates quite a suction inside that thing, though. So
It's be a closed system.
And we had a hiccup or two, but if you're not really, well, you can work on some stuff yourself. I don't know that I'd recommend one of these things to just everybody. We had to go in there and do some sealing up. You know, things happen. We understand that. We had to go in there and take some of it apart and redo
Yeah,
some of it.
customer service, they were nice. I've heard bad things about them. But they actually sent me 6 videos to watch and all these places to put on this electrical tape?
No, it was a silicone
A
type
silicone tape. And then you had to run another test and then tape again. Finally, my luck, the last thing that I taped up is what fixed it.
But we've been really satisfied with it. Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome piece of equipment, but I would say if you're not a little bit handy, or you can do things yourself, I don't know that I'd recommend this product for you. But it's wonderful. It does wonderful things.
Yeah, great snacks. We're not going to buy any more chips.
No more potato chips for us. It's just freeze-dried strawberries and bananas and apples. All right, so we got through the garden blast. We're talking about, starting to plant some stuff for new 2023. Let's talk about seeds. But before we do that, we did a survey to give away the wheel hoe, where we talked about how many tomato plants do you guys grow. Now this was great information for me because I just love to know what the majority of you guys out there do that watch our show than our customers here. So we're going to put this graph up here on where you can see it and see the number of tomato plants the majority of you guys grow out there. So
I was surprised.
I've seen these numbers before, so I wasn't as surprised as you was.
For our customers, I didn't realize we had customers that planted that many.
Yeah, the majority of you guys out there plant anywhere from 13 to 30 tomato plants, which is a decent sized garden. A decent number of people planted between 6 and 13. So the people that are our customers are people that like to watch the Row by Row show, grow their own, these bigger gardens, to grow their own food. We already knew that, but this kind of helped reinforce that a little bit. So the person that maybe just grows a tomato plant on their balcony or their patio is probably not the person that watches our show that are part of our people that like we are. And we're the same way. If you think about how many tomato plants do we normally grow a year? This last year we grew well over 100. But on a normal year, I'll plant anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 tomato plants.
Yeah. And this is why we package our seeds in the 10 seed pack,
Right,
the 50,
right.
4th pound, and even offer higher on some of the
Yeah, by
tomatoes
the thousands you can buy. So yeah, for 2023, one of our goals was to be able to offer larger varieties of seeds. So we're able to do that now. We put a new operating system in last part of 2022, and we're all able to offer larger variations of seed now for people who want to buy more seeds, which is a good thing. All right, so let's talk about new seeds because everybody's excited about new seeds for 2023. Let's talk about it. All right, now the first we're going to talk about is new additions to the Hossinator line. The Hossinator line is something we started last year.
with the tomato.
We started with the tomato, but we're adding this Hossinator series that is exclusive to the home garden market. Nobody else has these varieties offered in the home garden market. And we do this for a reason because these are great varieties that you can grow and be successful growing your own food. So let's start off with number 1, and it would be Mr. Hossinator Bell Pepper. Now, this bell pepper, like the rest of our Hossinator series, are hybrids. And what that means is they're an F1 hybrid. It's a cross between 2 parent plants that are not the same. All right, now this bell pepper, along with all the Hossinators, this is one key takeaway when you buy a Hossinator series. It has wonderful disease resistance. For you guys out there that want to grow organically, this is the secret sauce here, is buy seeds that have huge amounts of disease resistance there. Therefore, you don't have to apply these pesticides. This is, if you're going to grow an organic bell pepper, this is the one you need to be growing. It is widely adapted to all growing regions. And you know what? It makes a consistent size fruit.
A blocky fruit.
A blocky, consistent size bell pepper
A lot
there.
of production, a lot of leaf foliage on there to protect it from getting sunlight.
Reminds me of a Hossinator tomato. A Hossinator tomato is the same way. If you think about what happens to your bell pepper and your tomatoes, you get a lot of sun scald. So all this leaf on this bush here keeps, prevent that leaf scald there. This one sets a lot of fruit there, and it's a good long-term production bell pepper there. There you have it, folks. Hossinator bell pepper. All right, this is another one here, another Hossinator that I'm excited about. Boom, boom. Hossinator slicing cucumber, folks. All right.
Let's don't get strung
You
out.
done got on to me one time today about getting talking. I get really excited about these cucumbers here because there's so much to be had here. This right here is it's a hybrid, but it's a good slice of cucumber, and it has where again we got that very comprehensive disease package.
Very prolific.
Yes, it is a good variety for both spring and the fall. Now here's the kicker, folks. This is a monoecious variety, and that monoecious type means it has the male and the female flower on the plant here. We talked about it gynoecious a lot, but we're going to talk about monoecious today. And the reason we picked the monoecious type for our Hossinator sliced cucumbers is because the length of production is longer than a gynoecious. So what you would do if you buy this cucumber here, I would highly recommend using a netting or trellising system because you want to take care of this plant because this baby right here is going to give you cucumbers over a longer period of time than a normal cucumber.
Makes it great for the market gardener.
Oh yeah, or for a home gardener that wants a longer period of of harvest there. Now if you want a one and done type, if you want to plant cucumbers and you want to gather them all at one time to do your pickling or whatever, this is not the one you want to go with. You want to go with the gynoecious type. But if you want a long producing cucumber, this is it right here. All right, folks. There you have it, Hossinator slicing cucumber. And we wind up our Hossinator habanero.
Jalapeno.
Excuse me, jalapeno. Habanero. Did I say jalapeno? All right, so this winds up the ones that we have available at the moment here, but we'll have some more coming on. Jalapeno, this is a hybrid also. It's a moderate heat jalapeno. This one right here has a unique combination of size, quality, pungency, yield, and earliness. This is a fairly early jalapeno.
If you leave it on the plant, it'll mature from green to red.
Yep. And those red ones are really nice.
Also called chipotle, and are more flavorful.
Yep, they do. And the plants get 3 to 4 foot tall, and they have this thick-walled jalapeno that's around 3 to 4 inches long, and it's very consistent in size there.
All right. Do you remember the last ones that we grilled?
Yep.
And there was one of these on there. We both. It was moderately hot.
A lot of times, the longer you leave them on there, and if you let the plant stress a little bit to drought conditions, the jalapeno will be hotter. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but I know it was a little warm.
If you keep the plant more watered,
When you let it turn red.
Yeah, your pepper won't be quite as hot on the excuse me, on the jalapenos. If the plant is stressed by drought, the peppers are hotter.
Hot.
Yep. All right, so that is our 3 new Hossinators that we're excited about. There again, the key feature on all 3 of these right here is disease resistance and high productivity. All right. Here we have a new onion, which is a Texas Grano 502 onion. And this is a short day onion. Excuse me, I got the coffee.
You may talk.
I think it might have been due to the strawberry.
This one you can eat it almost like an apple.
Yeah, this
Very
is your
sweet.
classic Texas sweet onion right here.
Stores well too.
Yep, stores well, sweet flavor here. For you Texas folks that love those Texas sweet onion, this is the one right here. This is one of the, it's an open pollinated variety. So if anybody out there wants to save their onion seed, you can save your onion seeds here. It's an older variety. It has those large, round, globe-shaped onions here. And as we said, it does great in southern climates here. All right, this right here is one I'm kind of excited about. Supersweet 100 cherry tomatoes. Now this one has been around for a long time. Why we have not carried it before, I do not know. But we added it to our lineup this year.
Is this what the Arctic Freeze got?
It is. This is the standard go-to cherry tomato on the market that has been for years. This is an open pollinated cherry tomato here. And this particular one here came out back in the 60s. I'd like to tell this little story here. I actually was at a meeting a couple of months ago, and I run into one of the ladies that was in on the initial the initial choosing of this right here, and this is what she told me. She said, "Do you know how it come about the name Supersweet 100?" And I said, "No." And this was, I believe she said it was back in '67. She said they was doing trials, and she said they told one of the people, "So let's go back and look at that Supersweet tomato that was on row 100." And that's the way it got its name. It was a Supersweet tomato on row 100. So it is the standard. It's the standard by all cherry tomatoes are set on as far as a red tomato.
And it's very good for patio, raised beds, trellising. I even read you could put it in a hanging pot and let it drape down.
It has these clusters of tomatoes on there, anywhere from 15 to 25. It performed really well for us in the fall.
All the way up to Christmas.
Yeah, great for snacking. It's just a good one right there. All right, the next one here is a new one. It's new to us this year. Aspabroc. This Aspabroc Broccoli right here, or known as broccolini. If you've been to one of those high-end restaurants, they call it broccolini. This is what you're eating right here. It resembles something kind of similar between a broccoli and an asparagus.
It crossed between two types of broccoli, Chinese kale and an Italian.
Yeah, sprouting variety here. We planted this and tried it out back during the fall. Did wonderful. It does good in raised. I grew it in raised beds. Does really good in raised beds.
It doesn't take a lot of space, so therefore it's great for a patio or raised bed.
And it has these really loose leaf. I say loose leaf. These loose. It doesn't form this big broccoli head. It forms these small little sprouts.
Kind of reminds you after you cut the main broccoli.
Yeah, and you get those side sprouts.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it forms.
It's all side sprouts.
You keep it, if they start blooming, you got to keep it picked off there. But this stuff will make. It made wonderful for us to the cold. Got it, knocked it out. Aspabroc broccoli. All right, here's another one that's real similar to that. Burgundy broccoli. All right, now this is a hybrid right here. And this is real similar to the Aspabroc. It's a burgundy type. The reason we added this right here is we was at a farm back there in the summertime, and I'm talking about in the summertime. This was was it July we was up there? We was in middle of Ohio at Mike Smith's farm, and he carried us out there. He said, "I got to show you something." So he carried us out there, and he was growing this in July. We picked it out in the farm and ate it right then. Absolutely wonderful taste, this right here.
You need to plant some of that today.
I am going to plant some of this right here. And you know what's so great about it is it tolerates a wider range of temperatures. So it's widely adapted to grow in different places. Now, we would grow it in the springtime and the fall down here. But people all up in the country in zone 6, they grow it during the summertime. So it's a great one right there.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it hadn't been on the market that long. It's a good burgundy broccoli there. All right, folks. Moving back to the spinaches. You know, we noticed on our site that we didn't have a full leaf spinach that we carried. So we reached out to some of our breeders here and we talked to them and they said, "You got to grow this Imperial Star spinach." And I've grown it this fall. This is one of those larger leaf than those baby leaf spinaches that we've become accustomed to growing over the years. This is a large Italian type spinach right here. 35 days to maturity. Very, very quick.
It can take the cold temperatures and it has a low bolt tolerance.
Yeah, and especially if you wanted to keep spinach and do succession planting, this was a great one right here to do that with.
You got some of this planted?
I have some of that planted, and I have another one that I can't tell apart planted. Both of them are very similar. Oh boy, we're fixing to get into something right here.
Black oats is
Yeah,
this.
but I was fixing to get into the headline there, but let's back up and go to this right here. Black oats, I've got this planted right here. This is a wonderful, wonderful cover crop right here. I got a big, big patch of it planted out there in the behind my garden. It makes a lot of biomass. It breaks down quickly, what I like about oats. And it returns all those valuable nutrients and organic particles back into the soil. So it is a great, great cover crop before those heavy feeding vegetables. Corn, tomatoes, peppers, anything like that. And you know what? Also makes it great for foraging livestock on. So the ideal thing with there is to be able to plant that, let your livestock forage it, and then turn.
That would be called permaculture, right?
Sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of.
And then let your livestock, then turn it into
Go ahead and do that one, and then we'll do the others last.
And this, you've heard us talk about this one right here before. This is our survival seeds collection that we I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. You know where this come from? Zach Stivers from Stivers Homestead. Zach says you got to put one of these together. So I did, and I say I did. Me and a couple more people here. I'm not gonna take all the credit for that. Put it together. Includes 45 seed packs of open pollinated seeds. And all these seed packs are inside this. We call this a mylar or a foil bag here. This thing we seal it up, and then it's got a zip. It's got a zip.
It can reseal.
And then we heat seal the top of it. So this thing is sealed, and it will last for years.
It's a great storage.
Yeah. But it's got 45 different varieties in there of seeds you can save. So all these seeds here are open pollinated. Some of them are heirlooms, but all of them are open pollinated. So you can save these seeds moving. Or if you got somebody that's getting into gardening and you want to buy them a gift.
Great starter pack.
It's a great starter pack there. Yeah. Now we're getting into something that's really going to be interesting here, folks. We put this on the site probably about a month or so ago, and they have sold extremely well. We've got a few left, but we're getting a new shipment in, and we're talking about tobacco seeds.
Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought tobacco seeds?
When I was growing up, I never wanted to see a tobacco plant ever again in my life.
For y'all that don't know, we live in what was the heart of tobacco country down here. But we grew tobacco everywhere, and both of us worked in tobacco a lot.
From I was 13 to 18, every summer, every day.
First one we got here is called Southern Dolly. Now this is a flute cured tobacco. This is the kind of tobacco we grew here. We cropped the leaf, and we put it in the barns, air dried it, or they heat dried it out. And this is the kind of tobacco here that's used in cigarettes. Now,
they slow cured it with minimum exposure to smoke.
Yes, it was a slow smoke. I'm going to grow some tobacco this year. Neither one of us smoke, but we're going to grow it in the garden because it does have some health benefits. If you ever had a sting, you can put some crucial tobacco on a sting, and it does really good. It makes a wonderful flower in the garden. If you like to smoke, so be it. It's for that, or it's just a great addition to the garden. Smells good.
Interesting.
So we got Southern Dolly here, which is the one I'm going to grow because it's better, I think, for the southern part of the United States here. It has this slidey, if you was to burn it, it has this slidey sweet and mild flavor and aroma there. A very high yield. Now, these tobacco seeds, we're going to show you 3 here, is just like our Hossinator series. Highly disease resistant. Now, one thing about tobacco, if you've not grown them in the past, is they have a lot of disease issues. A lot of disease issues. Blue mold, black shank, all kind of insect problems.
Those big old
hornworms.
Hornworms? Yep. Oh, they were nasty.
But now these 3 varieties right here, I don't know of anybody, any other company in the United States that sells these on the home garden market. So these are, now you can find plenty of tobacco seeds out there, but you're not going to find the disease resistant varieties that we're showing right here. All right, next one is Mr. Shirley.
Shirley, it's a sweet scented.
Open pollinated, you could save your seeds if you wanted to, but this is a dark tobacco. This is one of those Virginia type varieties right here. It has that mild flavor. Some of them call it something similar to what the Virginia Golds look like. It produces a very large leaf.
And ornamental flowers that are white to pink. So it'd be pretty in a vase. If
you didn't know which one you wanted to grow, this would be the one I would grow. Now the Dolly, I know it's going to do well in the southern United States. But this was going to be an all around for anybody to grow right there.
Yeah, I'm going to grow some of that for the flowers.
Sure. Yep. All right, and we got our Heritage Gold tobacco. Heritage Gold tobacco is what they classify as a burley type tobacco. Now this was grown mostly up in Tennessee and Kentucky. And unlike what we did where we cropped the tobacco, they cut the stalks off. In Havana, Florida, they actually grown this as well. I remember seeing the barns down there. They cut the stalks off, they hang the whole stalk in the barn and let it cure off that way. And therefore you get a burley tobacco.
Interesting.
Very high disease resistance there, strong yield. It's one of the most common varieties out there is a burley tobacco right there.
70 days to maturity.
Yep. And we're getting away tobacco, but let's show our very last one right here.
New sunflower.
Lemon Cutie. Now this one right here.
2023 gold medal for novelty.
It is a great, if there's ever been a such thing as a container sunflower. This is a small dwarf type, and I'm talking about plant size, not
1 to
bloom
2
size.
inches tall.
1 to 2, you know, 1 to
Feet
2.
long. Whoops, that would be.
That would be really dwarf. No, it gets bigger than that. But it's great for containers. It's it would be wonderful for you folks out there that just want to grow something on your patio or things like that.
Great for attracting bees,
Yeah.
beneficial insects. And also, if you plant it in your garden, it creates like a blanket of yellow.
It has a semi-double flower, and it stays fresh really, really long. So you guys want to grow something a little bit different, there you have it. Lemon Cutie Sunflower, new for 2023.
And then,
Teaser alert, teaser alert. All right, we're not going to show the front of it?
yeah, you can speak.
Okay. We're going to show the front of these. Let me flip them around here. We got these coming out. And
We've been talking about these for a while.
been working on them a while.
And working on them a while. And they will be live on the site in a little over a week. Tracy from Just Dig It has helped us with these, curate them, come up with the design. And we're going to launch them in a live Sunday night. What's the date? January the...
Oh, well, you know, I don't know.
Anyway, the Sunday night following this show.
Yeah.
Tracy will be on there so she can, we're going to show you what's in them. There's 10 in one, there's 9 in one. You get these stakes, you get all the information on them, the link to a growing guide on them, just a wealth of information. So be sure to tune in Sunday night.
8, 7,
8.
8, you sure? We'll have to say. Well, it may be 7. I think it's 7.
It is 7.
Yes,
it is
7, yeah.
It is 7.
Be 8 Alabama time. Be 7 our time.
Alabama time.
Alabama time, yeah.
All right, so that's our new seeds, and this is not all of our new
No,
seeds.
we're going to be doing another show next week talking
Yeah.
about more new things. We got a lot of new things coming
Yeah,
out for 2023.
We got more seeds, more tools.
Garden Spotlight of the Week here. Hearts and Soil Farm out of Tennessee. Look there. We met these fine folks up in the HOA, Homesteaders of America, up there in Virginia right here. Great, great folks there. And look at that Hoss merch he's sporting there. He's giving a thumbs up. So this is one of their high tunnels right here.
They grow a lot of spinach.
A lot of spinach. Look at the spinach right here. I don't know what variety that is, but that is a super nice bed of spinach right there. And that half tunnel, I guarantee you, come in handy that little cold spell we have here. So thank you, Hearts and Soil Farm from Tennessee, for sending that in. It's good highlighting them, and it's good to see them again. We made a lot of new friends at HOA this last year.
Potato
All right.
orders.
Potato orders, we've been in communication with our potato guy. I hope to have them shipped in the next few days. We'll have our first shipment of potatoes come in. So if you live in the south,
Ship to us.
ship to us, and we'll be shipping them out of here. But if you live in the south, and you like to plant your potatoes in January, get your order in. We should hopefully have them in here by the 15th, so we can start getting our orders out to you, so you can be getting prepared.
15th of January.
Yes, and if you're not in the south, you want to go ahead and still lock your orders in, place those orders, pre-orders on our potatoes, and we'll ship them to you by the time you need to plant them. How about that?
All right.
All right, winter.
Grinch. Let's do this first.
Okay, do the Grinch first.
So the Grinch was here, during the holidays. He's left, went back, I guess, to the North Pole,
To the Grinchville.
to Whoville.
Whoville.
Whoville. We're not up on our Grinch lingo, are we? So the old goat's back.
Yeah,
May have a little tan. I think he was down in,
Bahamas or somewhere.
somewhere like that, yeah.
So the old goat's back. The figurine, the old goat's on the set somewhere. If you find the old goat figurine, put it in the comments below, and we'll have a drawing every week for that.
So for this drawing, we're going to give away some zinnia seeds. Now we don't know what kind of zinnias these are.
No, they're mixed.
They're mixed zinnias. We were moving around our stuff in the seed room, and we might have lost a label.
Good seeds, we just
Very
don't know
good
exactly
seed.
what they are, but they are zinnias. I would almost
Sure.
bet they're pro cuts.
Yeah. So anyway, so draw the zinnia winner.
Zone, draw the zinnia winner. And we have, boy, you did some small.
I did, didn't I?
Gwen Holmes.
Gwen Holmes. Send us your shipping info to hosstools@hosstools.com,
Yep.
and we will get you this lovely bag of zinnias.
All right, so the big winner, and we did this by automation,
Yeah, we did a random selector on those that answered that question.
and it was a single wheel hoe.
See, we'll have.
So the winner of the single wheel hoe is Russ and Rhonda Martin. Russ and Rhonda's good friends of ours. If y'all send us, we got their shipping address, don't we?
You know them?
Yeah, we got that. Just send us a, just to make sure, because the girls in customer service be on it. Send us a email, Russ and Rhonda,
Saying you won the single wheel hoe.
with your shipping address. Make sure they get everything correct. Yeah. Thank y'all. That was wonderful. Everybody, we love to be able to share some giveaways.
So tune in Sunday night for
Yep.
the launch of the herbs.
Yep. That's going to be exciting. Get to have Tracy on here. Tracy knows a lot. I've learned a lot, and I still got a lot more to learn about these herbs. We're going to be planting a lot of them in our new potager garden.
Yes, we are.
All
And
right.
then next week we're going to have more tools and stuff new for 2023.
New for 2023. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us. Now it's time for you to get off that couch and get outside and get dirty.